Dans cette émission des Nouvelles de l'Armée,
In this edition of Army News,
nous vous emmenons au cœur de l'action lors d'une opération en Afghanistan.
we take you to the middle of the action during an operation in Afghanistan.
Bienvenue à cette émission des Nouvelles de l'Armée. Je suis sergent Luc Taillon.
And I'm Master Corporal Ian Tate. Welcome to this edition of Army News.
Même les opérations les plus simples peuvent demander des jours, voire des semaines de planification. En plus de coordonner les actions des soldats et des éléments de soutien, les commandants doivent également composer avec les imprévus.
In Afghanistan, even the simplest operations may require days or weeks of planning. In addition to coordinating the actions of soldiers and support elements, commanders must also plan for the unexpected.
Le lieutenant-colonel Mike Vernon nous amène dans les coulisses d'une opération récente à Panway, menée par la compagnie char du 1er RCR.
Lieutenant Colonel Mike Vernon takes us behind the scenes of one recent operation in Panway by Charles Company, 1 RCR.
When I was in Afghanistan for 2 months, I had a roving commission where I could pretty much follow whatever storyline that I could identify. Or if I wanted to go somewhere because I heard there were interesting people or things going on, I literally would just book a seat on a helicopter, fly there, and I could spend up to a week or so, or as long as I wanted, to sort of follow that story. So in the case of Charles Company, 1 RCR, I'd heard that they were having daily contact with Taliban who were taking pot shots at them, RPGs, small arms fire. It seemed like there was something simmering along there, and it was just a busier, more active location than others that I had been to. And I was nearing the end of my time in Afghanistan, so I really wanted to sort of go there and check it out. And what I found was a story that really showed me how complex the job is for a company commander like Major Eleanor Taylor, all the variables that she has to work with in order to achieve her mission. So that's what I hope comes through for viewers when they watch the piece.
All right, let's go, come on.
This is what happened the last time soldiers from Charles Company ventured into the village of Sketcha.
Whitehall, where is it? Where are they? That way, same place. Corner of that grape plant, corner of the grape plant. Okay, I got something. That grape plant, right corner of the grape plant. See that grape plant at the bottom of that tree? Yep. Seeing flashes. Fucking get some! Come on. No, take your time, take your time.
Several months later, Major Eleanor Taylor is ordered to clear the village. It's part of a battle group operation to disrupt the Taliban in the Panjway district by clearing them out and building more checkpoints and outposts to secure the civilian population.
The intent of TFK is that they want to secure eastern Panjway and Dand and take advantage of all the incoming forces to do that. So from a battle group's perspective, our intent is we are going to adjust with the ANSF our laydown of the battle group and ANSF organizations such that we can start to separate the insurgents from the local population.
Charles Company won't be going into Sketcha on its own. It will be partnered with an Afghan National Army company. But as Major Taylor tells Brigadier General Dean Milner, going in strong is often a guarantee that nothing will happen.
So a section going out will almost always get hit. A platoon going out may get hit, and a company going out often does not get hit. So I'm not expecting when we go out in 2 days to see any direct fire. We may, I would love it, but every time I take the company out, we might get some harassing engagement, but the only time they really present themselves is when we are in small numbers.
No, it's important that you're very thorough and that you're prepared, because they may eventually try to throw suicide bombers at you or something.
That's exactly what's been happening lately. The small groups of Afghan and Canadian soldiers who man isolated checkpoints have been coming under fire almost every day.
If I could introduce my team and in fact ask if the members of your team could sit beside their partner, that would be terrific.
To prepare for the company's sweep, Major Taylor introduces her soldiers to their new counterparts from the Afghan National Army. These ANA soldiers recently arrived from another part of Panway.
It appears to be a very good company. Captain Anwar appears like a warrior. He's very enthusiastic about the operations. He has been out of the Army for some time. The last time he actually fought was in the time of Masood. He claims that he was one of his subordinate commanders. So he's back in the game, and we're looking forward to conducting the operation with him.
Due to the fact these two companies have never worked together before, they deliberately keep the plan simple. And due to the language barrier, there are many breaks for translation.
It would be easier to conduct the operation alone. There's no two ways about that. Can't deny that. But the fact is, we're not here to conduct the operation. We're here to enable the ANA in their conduct of the operation. And so while it's a little bit more challenging, it is more important that it be done together.
This is a new group. I haven't worked with this group at all. I think it's the new company that came out of Soja. So hopefully they're good to go.
Warrant Officer Sean Benedict briefs members of 8th Platoon. He says Canadians and Afghans won't get a chance to shake out together until the actual operation begins.
Typically in the class, rehearsals don't fare out so well due to the language barrier and the ANA's unwillingness to work unless it's for the real thing. They don't like to practice, they like to go out and do the real thing. You lose their attention pretty quickly when you're just standing out talking about stuff.
While planning for the operation continues, other tasks can't be ignored. Like providing artillery support whenever it's needed. Meanwhile, engineers use their heavy equipment to reinforce the defenses of the company checkpoints to make them less vulnerable to direct fire. And Major Taylor meets with some elders from a nearby village to discuss the fate of a young man who was recently detained.
We found explosive residues on his body. And can any of you explain why this might be the case?
After speaking with the elders, Major Taylor orders the young man to be released.
Although he tested positive for X-spray, it wasn't definitive, and it also gives her some leverage as well. It gets people to come see her. We can talk about the things that the government of Afghanistan are trying to push to their people, as well as why we're here, and also help them understand that the ANA and us, we're all here to help them out, really.
Then they talk about other issues, like the new checkpoints and rumors that the Taliban are spreading.
But I must say that, and I say this for the young men, I say this for the young men mostly, but there is a rumor amongst the insurgents that is being spread around Afghanistan that we are here to westernize or to change or to convert. And I want you to know from all the Canadians here that that is the farthest thing from the truth. We have immense respect for Islam. We have immense respect for your culture. And we don't want to change anything. We simply want to enable your security forces to stabilize your country.
When it comes to Sketcha, there are a lot of moving parts for Major Taylor to coordinate. Canadians and Afghans, infantry and tanks, engineers, snipers, artillery and police. The plan continues to evolve.
So we're going to keep it simple, and we will do one axis supported by one group of ANCOG, Palmlet, and yourself.
Bad weather has already delayed the start by one day. Now there's a possibility there won't be any Afghan police available to assist. The next morning, the soldiers of Charles' company begin to gather for the operation. Then it's confirmed. No Afghan police. They say they need more time and more detail on their role in the plan. It's the inevitable friction of war. Without police, they can't search individual compounds. But the operation will go ahead anyway. The soldiers of Charles' company seem relieved to be moving at last. Some even take bets on when they'll first come under fire.
All right, Gord, bet on contact. Say first 45 minutes. Yep. Say hours.
I'll make it 2 hours.
Optimistic as all hell, eh?
I don't know shit. This is my first time.
I'll go for 5.
In the afternoon.
5 hours.
Yeah, we got time.
45 minutes.
There's no rush. There's no rush.
This morning's operation will be a considerable show of force to the people of Sketcha. Because passable roads are scarce, the company goes in on foot, over walls, and through the maze of grape fields that surround the village, and briefly through towering fields of marijuana.
This is 3-2. We've gained lodgement into the village of Sketch itself. It appears that there might be a funeral or something of the sort ongoing. I'm going to bring a 5-4 call sign forward, and we're just going to have a chat with the local nationals, see what's going on, see if they have any issues with us patrolling through the village over there.
Unlike last time, however, this sweep through Sketcha is remarkably peaceful.
Right now, we've got lodgement in the village of Sketcha. There are actually quite a number of local national children around. I've got a good vibe. I'm not too worried at the moment.
This is definitely not what we expected. Me personally, anyhow, I was on high alert, to say the least. Like, we had a pretty sustained firefight last time we came through. We came from the south, mind you, so I don't know. It was they actually followed us out as well, which was, we'd never seen that before.
This is a good day.
In fact, the only moment of excitement seems to be the joyful riot that erupts when soldiers buy candies for all the children in the village square. When it's done, the patrol continues.
Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to stay here. We're going to occupy this grape pot.
Yep.
Okay, we're responsible from basically 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And if you look to the south, that's your 12 o'clock.
At the hottest time of the day, the Afghans and Canadians take a break from the sun, seeking the shade and shelter provided by one of the many grape-drying huts. One hour later, it's time to keep moving.
Time to power up, like Power Rangers.
When it gets so hot. Chapter 2, Scene 2. Take it.
Now their route takes them back outside the village through the grape fields once again. This is when the insurgents decide to open fire.
We have gone firm and we are prepared to reinforce if the situation requires it.
Just as Major Taylor predicted, this ineffective harassing fire is the only contact Charles Company experiences. 8 hours after it began, this patrol comes to its peaceful conclusion.
I would like to thank everybody for their flexibility, because I agree that's the biggest point to sustain here. Everybody made this plan happen, even though we were Rolex, plan changed twice, got attachments at the last minute. So thank you for that. I think that overall the op was very successful. It rolled out exactly as we expected that it would. We achieved the aim, and you know, we're all back here safely. So very, very good day. Thank your soldiers for me, please.
But there's little time to sit back and be content, because the skirmishes for the Charles Company checkpoints continue. For Army News in Afghanistan, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Mike Vernon.
Thank you for watching this edition of Army News. Be sure to join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and catch our photos on Flickr.
Merci d'avoir regardé cette émission des Nouvelles de l'Armée. Venez faire un tour sur notre page Facebook et nous vous invitons à nous suivre sur Twitter et voir nos photos sur Flickr.
I'm Master Corporal Ian Tate. À bientôt.
Et je suis Sergent Luc Taillon. See you next time.